Hey lovely, today we are going to take a look at creating a page using layers. Now layering is a staple of art journaling. It's very much how we build our pages. Whatever we create, there are layers, materials, paper, media, whatever. It allows us to build texture, covers things we don't like, and learn how different supplies work together. Now today I am using an old Amazon package, a collage sheet that I'd already created, and some PVA glue initially. I'm just going to cover the Amazon packaging with these squares and just mosaic them together, just filling in gaps, making sure that I don't have any of the packaging showing through if I can help it, and getting them stuck down. Now you will see here as we go through that sometimes the collage paper's curling, and that's normal. What happens when you add water to paper? It curls. And that's the other benefit about layering. It allows you to see how supplies interact and allows you to troubleshoot quite easily. So if you find later on that you've added PVA to paper and it's curled, that's why. It happens when you add something water-based. So we're just going to speed through this, and I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing at different points and tell you a bit more about layering as we go. As we come towards the end of this layer, it's really important that we leave things to dry in between. This stops different layers interacting in the same way, stops you getting a muddy mess, if you like, stops all of these products mixing. Now here I'm just going through and making sure everything is stuck down. Where I've got bits that have lifted slightly, which, you know, does happen, it's not the end of the world, just glue them back down and have done. Now I want to start adding a bit more texture. There is a chunk of depth because of the type of collage paper I've used, but adding texture is always great when you're doing an art journal. So I've just got some thread from a sewing machine mishap. I'm not doing anything complicated. I'm covering it in PVA glue, wrapping it around my fingers to create a circle and just gluing it down. I've done that in 3 or 4 places here. It allows a bit of extra depth, a little bit of texture, and it stands off the page a bit so it's not so flat. And because I've done it in different places, it helps to bring the page together rather than looking like, oh, there's just a random bit of thread here and there. The other thing I'm going to do is add some stamping to it. Now stamping with an abstract pattern helps to bring pages together again, so that it doesn't look like you've just randomly gone in and chucked things at it in the same way. It starts to amalgamate everything together to bring those layers into some sort of completed form. I picked out a black acrylic paint. It's really fluid, and I'm going to use it to just drip down part of my piece. I'm also going to water it down and use it for splatters. So first of all, straight from the pot, straight across the top, and then I'm going to stand the piece up so that it flows down. Once I've done that, I'm going to add a bit of water to the paint I've reserved. Just use a paintbrush to spatter it on there. It just gives it a bit of cohesion all through the piece because all of this paint appears on different parts. So I'm getting towards the end of this piece now. All of the layers have been left to dry completely so that the products don't start to mix excessively or become particularly muddy. And it gives me time and space to make decisions. Within that, it helps me clear the mind and do other bits in between as well, so I can do the housework whilst I'm creating a piece because I need the drying time in there. But here I've decided I'm coming towards the end. I've pulled out some stickers, and this is just 1, 2, 3, 4 on white. It's a white sticker, and I'm just going to use some watercolour to colour them, just to make them jump off the page, because there's a lot going on here, and I don't want to have a dedicated focal point. I want to just pull the eye into different areas of it. So I think these are going to work really, really well. And you know, if they don't, it's not the end of the world. It's only paper. Worst thing that can happen is I bin it. Now, I've pulled out my watercolours, and I have a huge set of watercolours, but use what you've got. Raid the kids ones, it doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to use a few bright primary colours. So, well, not really primary, okay. Basic colours. So reds, yellows, blues, pinks, purples, that are already in the background sheet. So what that's going to do is pull some of the colours forward in there as well. It's the sort of colours that are going to work with the piece I've already done. They're already in. I'm not adding anything new to it. I'm not adding browns or greens to it, because those colours aren't there, and it would start to clash quite a lot in my mind. But there's no harm in trying something like that. So I'll get these painted and dried off, and then we can pop them on the finished piece. We're coming towards the end of this page now, and I wanted to add some more pink in there. I've got quite a lot of pinky purples in the background. I've got a splash of yellow in there. I've got a lot of blue, so I just want to add a little bit more pink to it. I've pulled out a paint here that turned out to be a little bit on the thicker side. It's obviously been standing a bit too long and isn't as fluid. So instead of doing what I was originally planning, which was to pour it on and just let it drip down over the black, I'm going to add spatters. And that's just mixing with water, using a paintbrush to just flick paint all over it. It's a very intuitive process for me. I just feel like using it. It might be a product I see or a technique. I just feel like trying it. And then finally, I'm going to stick those numbers down, and they're going to help draw the eye across the page. So I have the black, which is going down the page. I've got the thread, which is going across the page, and the numbers are just going to help to break that up a bit and have a kind of focal point for the eye to fall to and draw your eye across the page. It's not science, it's not complex, it's just that's how it's worked out. When I'm thinking of it, when I'm doing the page, I'm not worried about how the eye is going to be drawn across it. I just want to play and have fun. And that's the idea of layers, is you play and have fun. And with these being stickers, I can stick them on, I can move them around as I wish. And at this point, I'm going to call it finished. Now, I can come back to it at any stage. You know, it's never over till the fat lady sings. I can add more to it, I can remove bits from it, and that's one of the things with PVA glue, is I can pull things off if I want to. Now, I hope this has taught you a little bit about how to build an art journal page using layers and why we let things dry in between. I really hope to see you over at either my YouTube channel or on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram and get some really good behind the scenes stuff. Or if you hop over to the website, inkypawsart.com, you can get a ton of extra inspiration, more tutorials than you can shake a stick at. And if you sign up to the newsletter, there's a couple of freebies in there for you too. So I hope to see you soon. Happy art journaling, and I'd love to see what you get up to. Take care. Bye.